I'm Edie Lush here at the Hub Pavilion in Copenhagen, and I'm now joined by Victoria Tauli-CORPUZ, and she's from Tebtebba Foundation. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing at Copenhagen and what you're hoping to achieve for your foundation.
Well, we are here in Copenhagen and we brought a whole group of indigenous peoples because we would like to influence the outcome of Copenhagen to include the need to respect and protect the rights of indigenous peoples and also their knowledge in terms of solving the problems of climate change. We also would like to talk about the vulnerabilities of indigenous peoples because we live in the most fragile ecosystems in the world.
Been talking to some people about what it means, the sort of human rights connection of the human rights part of climate change, and it seems like there's a very different agenda that's going on behind the closed doors.
Right.
They're talking about how much carbon countries like China and the United States emit, its politics and its economics, and it's definitely not human. Is that frustrating?
Well, it's frustrating because you cannot talk about carbon and lowering greenhouse gas emissions without thinking about the people who are most affected by the adverse impacts of climate change, but also the people who can contribute to solving the problem. And I think indigenous peoples who are the ones who have saved the world's tropical rainforests, which are now the sinks for greenhouse gas emissions, have a lot to contribute in solving the problem, but they can only do that if their rights to their own lands, territories, and resources are respected, and our rights to determine what kind of development should take place in our communities is also respected.
And tell me about your involvement, for instance, with the forestry issue, because that's obviously going to be the avoided deforestation is quite an important part of these talks.
Well, I have been involved in the whole RED discussions to reduce emissions from deforestation and degradation, and I have been the one pushing very hard that RED will not succeed if indigenous people's rights are not recognized and protected.
And what, by those rights, what do you mean, the right to do what?
The right to continue our traditional forest management practices, which has been proven to be the ones that save the forest. The rights for us to determine what will happen in our forest, and the right for us to share most of the benefits from the incentives that are going to be provided for the forest to be saved.
And do you think we'll reach a solution where we see, for example, indigenous people receiving money in order to continue to conserve the forest, or how would you like to see it happen?
Well, I think what indigenous peoples are saying is that it's not even just a question of money. It's really a question of us being allowed to continue to save the forest because this is our lands.
It's what you do anyway.
This is our culture. It's what we do anyway. So if we are just left alone to really continue what we are doing, then that's already a big thing. But of course, since governments are here trying to get money also for them to save the forest, then we think that we rightfully should be given benefits, not only in terms of monetary, benefits, but also in terms of really ensuring that the services that we need, are really provided to us.
Thanks very much, Vicky, for joining us here at the Hub Pavilion in Copenhagen, and I'm Edie Lush.
Thank you very much.